Very good afternoon to all brothers and sisters in the Dhamma. Today is Sunday class, 23rd March 2025. So as usual, we will be continuing with our sharing from the Lotus Sutra, Heart Sutra, sorry. We are at page 117, lesson 22. Okay, so as usual, let us compose our mind, develop the Saddha, Virya, then mindfully we shall commence the Puja chanting. Namo 本师释迦牟尼佛 Namo 本师释迦牟尼佛 Namo 本师释迦牟尼佛 Namo 观世音菩萨 Namo 观世音菩萨 Namo 观世音菩萨 Namo 阿弥陀佛 Namo 阿弥陀佛 Namo 阿弥陀佛 Namo 弥勒佛 Namo 弥勒佛 Namo 弥勒佛 Namo 药师佛 Namo 药师佛 Namo 药师佛 Namo 普贤菩萨 Namo 普贤菩萨 Namo 普贤菩萨 Namo 地藏王菩萨 Namo 地藏王菩萨 Namo 地藏王菩萨 Namo 佛菩萨 Namo 佛菩萨 Namo 佛菩萨 Arahang Sama Sambuddho Bhagava Buddhang Bhagavantang Abhivademi Swakato Bhagavata Dhammo Dhammang Namasami Supatipano Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Sanghang Namami Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Buddhang saranang gacchami Dhammang saranang gacchami Sanghang saranang gacchami Dutiyampi Buddhang saranang gacchami Dutiyampi Dhammang saranang gacchami Dutiyampi Sanghang saranang gacchami Tatiyampi Buddhang saranang gacchami Tatiyampi Dhammang saranang gacchami Tatiyampi Sanghang saranang gacchami Panatipata Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami Adinadana Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami Kamesu Miccācara Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami Musawada Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami Surameraya Majapamadatana Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami Sadhu Sadhu Sadhu. Okay, let's now pay respect triple jam. Buddhang Pujemi Dhammang Pujemi Sanghang Pujemi. Invocation to the Devas. In this universe, in their entirety, Let the deities and devas come here. Let them hear the good teachings of the King of Sages, which gives heaven and release, Nibbana. This is the time to listen to the teaching. This is the time to listen to the teaching. This is the time to listen to the teaching. Samanta Chakawalisu Atra Gachantu Devata Sadamang Monirajasa Sunantu Sakamokadang Dhamma Kalo Ayang Badanta Dhamma Kalo Ayang Badanta Dhamma Kalo Ayang Badanta Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Iti Beso Bhagava Arahang Samma Sambuddho Jacharana Sampanno Sugato Lokavido Anuttaro Purisa Dhamma Sarati Satta Deva Manusanang Buddho Bhagavati Swakato Bhagavata Dhammo Sanditiko Akaliko Ehipaseko Opanaiko Pachatang Veditaibo Vinohiti Supatipanno Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Ujupatipanno Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Nyayapatipanno Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Samicipatipanno Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Yadidang Chatari Purisa Yogani Atta Purisa Pugala Esa Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Ahuneyo Dahuneyo Akineyo Anjali Karaneyo Anutarang Punyang Ketang Lokasati Sadhu Sadhu Sadhu. Okay, now you can be seated. Then relax body and mind, maintain some more awareness or attention. Then we will continue from where we stop. We are at page 117, part 2. So part 1 we have finished on the meditative mind. Then now we are on part 2. 2.1 Anatta, or empty nature of existence. Anatta, or the non-self nature, is also emptiness. So sometimes when we try to develop the understanding of this word anatta, anatta is a very special teaching that Sakyamuni Buddha has put forth. He came to realize that a lot of religion, they develop the wrong understanding. Because to them, it is only where there is atta or attaniya. Atta means there is such thing as a permanent unchanging entity that we can call self. Attaniya is the other extreme, no self. So these two concepts or teaching has actually caused a lot of delusion in living beings. So after the enlightenment beneath the Bodhi tree, Sakyamuni Buddha came to realize the actual understanding is in between. He called it anatta. So the anatta meaning is very deep, very profound. In fact, this Theravada tradition's teaching on anatta is very deep and very profound, but it's seldom explained as to what it actually means, its deep meaning. There are words that the Buddha has coined during his time, but then the Mahayana tradition actually came to expand on it and develop the word emptiness, which in the Pali language is equivalent to sunyata. So sunyata is a Pali word that means emptiness. So here emptiness doesn't mean it is completely empty, nothing. Here emptiness means empty nature of existence, means no reality. But you cannot deny that there is something in life. When each and every living being arises, we have a form and mind, or what we call karmically conditioned vehicle and tool for each and every one of us to come to this existential world to live life. So there is such thing as a human being for our case, or a living being for the general case. So living being, there are 31 planes, but human being is only one within the human realm. So you cannot deny that there is such thing as a human being or a living being. But this one is not real in the sense that it's not a permanent unchanging entity. It's dependent, originating, condition arising, cause of phenomena. That's why it's karmically conditional for each and every one of us to arise in this existential world. And because we live in an existential world, a dependent originating universe, everything that arises within our conditioned world are conditioned Dhamma. Means without causes and condition, nothing arises. Whatever arises, like the Buddha said, he came to realize there are causes and conditions behind. And these causes and conditions are the nature's law that governs life and existence. That's why he taught us the Pancha Niyama. We have the physical law of nature, Utu Niyama. Then we have the biological order of nature, Bija Niyama. These two are scientific law of nature. Then we have the spiritual law of nature. All spiritual things follow these three laws. First is the moral causation. He called it the law of karma or karma niyama, where there is a mental intention involved, morality. That's why moral causation. So when the mental intention within the thought process has this moral value of good and bad, right and wrong, then it will condition karmic activity. That's a moral causation. Then there is another spiritual law that governs the behavior of our mind, our mundane mind. He said, this law is called Dhamma Niyama. Oh, sorry. Paticca Samuppada, not Dhamma Niyama. Dhamma Niyama is the last one. Paticca Samuppada. He said, everything within the conditioned world, they are dependent, originating, condition, arising, causal phenomena. And our mind behave the same. So this mind, Chitta, our consciousness and its content, he called it the Chitta Niyama. This mind behave following the law of dependent origination, or the Buddha called it Itta Paccayata. Another name is Paticca Samuppada. So both of these is the same description of that nature's law that explain the behavior of our mundane mind, the dependent originating mind, condition arising mind. They follow this Paticca Samuppada or dwelling, which is avijja paccaya sankara, sankara paccaya vijnanam, vijnanam paccaya namaru, then namaru paccaya salayatana. Then from there, continue with the other links. Hence arise the whole mass of suffering. So this is how our mind behave. This is how we function as a human being. This is how karma takes its course. And all the psychic ability are also governed by this law. You train your mundane mind in such a way that it has the power to give rise to this type of psychic phenomena or manifestation. Then finally, there is the third spiritual law, the balance of it. Whatever that is not covered under the first two of Kama Niyama and Chitta Niyama, we have the final one, Dhamma Niyama, means the universal order of Dhamma or truth. The other Dhamma or essential Dhamma teaching that the Buddha taught are covered under this law. So Dhamma Niyama is the nature's order of the essential Dhamma that the Buddha has taught us. Like everything that is taught by the Buddha under his essential Dhamma teaching, like the three evil roots of greed, hatred, and delusion, the 5 spiritual faculties, the 5 mental hindrances, the 7 factors of enlightenment, including Paticca Samuppada, all those things. Even the law of karma, kama niyama, then the 7 stages of purification of form and mind, the 5 aggregate of form and mind, the 4 noble truths. They are all the essential Dhamma that spin off from his essential Dhamma teaching or core teaching. We call it the 4 noble truths. Truths that can make you noble ones or enlightened ones. So based on this, the Buddha came out with the teaching. Then from the teaching, it spin off the conditioned Dhamma teaching. He said everything within the conditioned world are conditioned Dhamma. And they have the universal characteristics of anicca, dukkha, and anatta. That's how it comes about. Anicca in the sense that they are all dependent, originating, condition arising, cause of phenomena. That's why it's a phenomenal world characterized by impermanence. Nothing that arises within this phenomenal is a permanent, unchanging entity that can remain forever for you to call self. Yeah. There is no such thing. So now coming back to the understanding of anicca, dukkha, anatta, we have to go through it again as a revision. So first is anicca, means the law of impermanence, means there is a universal characteristic. All phenomena that arise because they are condition arising, cause of phenomena, depend on condition they arise. When condition continue to manifest, it will evolve and manifest accordingly. Then when condition cease to be, it ceases to be. And because of that, it is always in a state of flux, impermanent, dependent originating condition arising cause of phenomena. So this universal characteristic, if you are mindful, aware, you can see them manifesting. That's why I always share with you, in the midst of life and nature, truth is everywhere. Why can't you see? For those who see, they always see. But these characteristics of impermanence, when you have the mindfulness to be at the moment of its arising, sustaining and passing away, you see them clearly. And every phenomenon exhibit them. That's why they are everywhere in the midst of life and nature. Why can't you see? Because the living being, the unenlightened one, the deluded one, they are too cluttered with thought process. They think a lot. They have a lot of mental activity. Their mundane mind are too active, heedlessly arising and passing away. And because of that, they lost their ability to realize that they have a nature behind, the original nature, the true nature, the primordial nature that create the arising of the mundane mind, the thinking mind, the dependent originating mind. So inability to see all this, to realize all this, is a major ignorance or delusion. So when you are preoccupied with your thought process, heedlessly creating more and more thought and sankhara activity, then you cannot be with the moment in silent inner awareness to observe and to understand what is going on within nature, within life, within your form and mind. So inability to be in that state will cause sakkayaditthi to arise. Means you cannot see clearly that they are all impermanent, dependent originating, not a permanent unchanging entity. Hence, that characteristic manifests. Then the Buddha continued. If they are dependent originating, condition arising, cause of phenomena, following nature's law, then this is the reality. This is suchness, true suchness, tathata. That's why in his teaching he told all the monks, including Asaji, the Venerable Asaji, whatever arises, there are causes and conditions behind it. These are nature's condition, nature's law that governs all this activity and phenomena. So if you want things your way, which is not nature's way, following this pancha niyama or nature's law, then you will end up not getting what you want. Inability to get what you want will trigger all suffering. That's why the second universal characteristic of the impermanent is you will come to realize that everything within the phenomenal world is dependent, originating, condition arising, hence impermanent, not a permanent, unchanging entity. Then, if you want things your way, because you lack the wisdom and understanding to understand the pancha niyama, then not able to get what you want, well, that is the reality. That is how it will manifest and move. But you want things your way, which is born of your ignorant delusion, your craving. You crave for things to be in certain way, but you doesn't know how to arise it through wisdom. So because of that, when things don't go your way, you become unhappy, you become fearful, you develop all the unhappy mind, the dislike, the resentment, the hatred, the anger, and all these things. Sometimes you develop the insecurity, the fear, the worry, the anxiety, leading to sorrow and lamentation. So this is how the universal characteristics of dukkha, suffering, comes to be. When you want things your way, and when things don't go your way, you suffer. Then finally the Buddha said the third universal characteristic is, after realizing impermanence, after realizing suffering, you will also come to understand, because it is impermanent, it's not a permanent unchanging entity that you can cling on to, grasp onto and hold on to and say, this is me, this is I. This is the anatta nature. When you cling, it becomes atta, where you believe the form and mind is you. Not knowing that it's a phenomena, dependent, originating, not a permanent, but you believe that one is real, is you. That's how you cling, you grasp. You develop the craving, the desire, the attachment, the grasping. And when you do that, you suffer. That's why the final summary of the first Noble Truth, the Buddha said, in short, it is due to living beings, sakkayaditthi, self-delusion, that condition them to grasp and cling on to this five aggregate of form and mind. For our case is a human being, for others is a living being. The item dukkha. When you attach and cling to the five aggregate, this five aggregate become grasping aggregate, upadana kanda. And upadana kandas, born of delusion, sakkayaditthi, self-delusion, is suffering. You can put to test, and it will stand up. Then, because it is not what you think, everything is impermanent, dependent, originating, condition, arising, cause of phenomena. Hence, not a permanent, unchanging entity. Hence, non-self, not you, not me. And the other understanding is, once you see clearly the universal characteristic, means all of life, all of existence, they are just following this nature's law, arising and passing away. They come and go. They arise and pass away. So all this manifestation of impermanence leading to suffering when you don't have the understanding, when you attach, cling and grasp, then you develop sakkayaditthi. You cannot understand all this, you cannot see. Then when you grasp and cling, believing that all these are real, this is what you are, then you suffer. Because you worry about the five aggregate of form and mind becoming the other way, means like the physical body. You worry about it getting sick, getting injured, and die, because you believe this is you. So the fear of this body going through old age, sickness and death is so intense. But not knowing that the five aggregates of form and mind, especially the form aggregate, they go the way of nature. It's not a permanent, unchanging entity. It's not you. Then why do you deludedly cling and grasp and fear that you will die? Or when you get old, get sick, and become very weak and very fragile, you suffer. That is delusion, sakkaya. But when you understand, you accept this reality, then this form and mind, you know, dependent originating condition is not a permanent object and not you. That's why you're free. That's how the Buddha realized underneath the Bodhi tree. He straight away awakened to this understanding. And that understanding liberated his mind. Then his so-called reason for renunciation to search for the answer to old age, sickness and death resolved, where he knows the physical body is not him. Then there is no more issue about the physical body going the way of nature, going through old age, sickness, injury and death. No more problem. That's why he awakened. Then he realized there's another nature within that is independent of the form and mind. And that nature is the eternal nature, unconditioned. Because he was never born, he will also never die. So the unborn, the unconditioned. That's why finally he realized the cessation of form and mind, and he realized the enlightenment in the here and now, and he transcends birth and death, and he transcends the understanding of the universal characteristics of anicca, dukkha, anatta. Then he realized all this arising and passing away, they pertain to the conditioned world. The conditioned world has all those things, but it is not what you think. With the unconditioned world's wisdom, you realize all these are the process of creation, the four stages of evolution, creation. So from that pure nature, it arises. The first to arise is the pure awareness nature. Then from there arises the form and mind. The form and mind is what the five aggregate is. Then through the senses, it triggers off the phenomenal world of consciousness, where life, existence, everything arises. So seeing all this clearly will enable cultivator of the way to awaken, to realize the truth or the Dhamma as taught by the Buddha. Then without any more sakkaya and ignorance, the enlightenment in the here and the now can be realized. That's how Nibbana can be realized. And this is what the teaching is about. So this chapter on anatta, or I wrote here non-self or empty nature. Non-self nature or empty nature is very important. So now I will summarize it. Just like what Ingbi came to realize after she listened to the previous sharing, I think for 3 to 4 times. Then she came to profound understanding. That's why she has a lot of joy. Then now I write on the whiteboard. So understanding the universal characteristics of anicca, dukkha and anatta, I have already explained the other two. Now we go to the last one, anatta. So anatta is characterized by these 3 things. First is not a permanent unchanging entity. The reason being, everything within the conditioned world is dependent originating. So, dependent originating means the conditioned world has its conditioned Dhamma. So everything within the conditioned world, because it's dependent originating, is also a condition arising phenomena. So dependent on condition, they arise. Dependent on condition, they continue to exist and sustain itself. Then with the cessation of the condition, it ceases to be. And this is how phenomena comes to be. So the characteristics of impermanent. That's why it's not a permanent unchanging entity. Then number two. Number two is also very important, very powerful. Well, when you know it's not a permanent unchanging entity, then you know it is equivalent to non-self. So this word non-self is not no self. Yeah. No self is completely without anything. Then self is a permanent unchanging entity where you can hold on to, cling on to, and say, this is me, this is I. Then, like your body, if it's self, it will not tend towards suffering. Then you can order him, the body. Don't get old, don't get sick, don't die. But it doesn't obey you. It obeys what we call the nature's law that governs life and existence. So because of that, it is not what you think. So the anatta nature has these three meanings. First, it's not a permanent unchanging entity where you can cling on to, hold on to, and say, this is me, this is I. Then the second one is the non-self nature. So this non-self nature is very important. Then because of this, it's not a permanent, that's why it's impermanent. The universal characteristics of impermanent characteristic. So this impermanent characteristic will manifest. Because it's impermanent, everything is dependent, originating, condition arising. Then the whole conditioned world is not what you think. That's why finally you will realize the empty nature of existence, which is the third very powerful understanding of anatta. Empty nature of existence means within life and existence there is something. Like I used to share with you all, you cannot deny that you have existed since birth until now, whatever age you are. But I ask you the question, is it real? When that question surfaces through the inquiry, then you realize you can only recall it to memory. 往事只能回味. That's why there is no reality. As real it can be, moment to moment. It did happen, it did arise before and pass away. But how real can it be? The past is already gone, no more reality. If there is no mind to recall, then it has no meaning. That's why empty, not what you think. Then when everybody that exists within that conditioned world who knows you already gone, then nobody knows you. It's like you never existed. Of course, nowadays they have history to record all this, but how long does it last? And all these are mind make, like the Buddha say. Mind is the forerunner of all things. Mind is chief. When mind arises, all things arise. And this is the mano, the mundane mind. So these three very penetrative understanding of anatta is very important. That's why this anatta is very profound. When you penetrate this anatta teaching, which is within the Theravada tradition, you will also penetrate what the Mahayana understand, sunyata, or what they call empty nature of existence. So this is emptiness. That's why you will also come to understand the Mahayana teaching, why he said, when you penetrate through emptiness, existence become wonderful. 真空妙有. So these are the three things that Sister Ingbi came to understand profoundly. That's why she developed a lot of understanding, joy, and the awakening just trigger off. He said it's like when she listened from the heart, the understanding manifests. It's like mind to mind seal, the transmission. Like without thought, she just understands them so deeply, so profoundly. Because it's an awakening from the nature, the vibration, the awakening. So all this are the important understanding of what anatta is. So this topic today, which we are going through, is very important. Anatta, or non-self nature or empty nature of existence. So I'll read to you now, then you can understand. Anatta, or non-self nature, is also emptiness. If one realizes anatta, or penetrate the understanding of true emptiness, then one can also become enlightened. So this is precisely what I meant, what the Buddha meant. That's why when I used to tell Theravada traditions practitioner, if you really penetrate anatta within the Theravada traditions teaching, in the real sense, you will also understand emptiness under the Mahayana teaching. Where this empty nature of existence is what emptiness is. Emptiness doesn't mean empty of everything. No, emptiness means empty nature of existence. When existence is not what you think, there is no reality. The word is no reality. That's why ultimately think also like that, don't think also like that. You cannot deny you existed. But then what is the reality? Everything is dependent, originating, condition arising, cause of normal. That every segment of what you are is that you. You have been born, die, over eons and eons of existence. Which segment of the form and mind that arise and pass away is you? None of them. They are all phenomena, dependent, originating, condition arising, empty, not what you think. So see it clearly. That's why I develop the inner awareness to awaken to all this, to realize the three universal characteristics of anicca, dukkha, and anatta. Then you understand. Okay, I read on. Once awakened to true emptiness, then one will understand why the Heart Sutra say true emptiness is wonderful existence. So this is why I have explained. Once you penetrate the universal characteristics of anicca, dukkha, and anatta, then you will realize that that realization of true emptiness or empty nature existence is wonderful existence. Because by then, no more delusion, no more problem. Every coming is with wisdom, with understanding. You have the wisdom not to be deluded or entangled anymore. That's why there is no more suffering. Then existence become wonderful, meaningful, because, like I explained, after you have developed the penetrative understanding, then you develop the wisdom to live the life of an enlightened being, or the third phase of Dhamma, Pativeda, where you will realize the deep understanding, penetrative understanding of true emptiness. Then you can renounce samsara. I mean, samsara is no more an issue, but every coming after that is so meaningful, so beautiful, and so wonderful, because You don't have to worry about this body getting old, getting sick and die. And yet, you can experience all of the beauty and wonders of life provided by the understanding. That's why this is truly wonderful existence. To realize the pristine beauty and wonders of life is very, very important. That's why every moment, every instant, the conditioned arising world is so beautiful, so pristine, so wonderful. And existence is like so extraordinary, wonderful. Yeah. So this is the deep meaning. When you realize true emptiness, existence becomes meaningful, wonderful, and you can continue to calm without a problem. Yeah. Then next paragraph. You must understand how thinking affects you. When thinking, one is clouded by what one thinks. This is obvious. Hence, no clarity to understand what is going on or happening within the moment, to awaken to the truth and the reality. Because when your mind is not silent, it will think. Then when it thinks, it will be lost in thought, preoccupied with your thinking, your emotion, the stirring. So all this will cloud your mind, your true nature. That's why there will be no clarity to understand what is going on. So you cannot understand life. You cannot understand truth. You cannot see things as they are. Then I go on to explain. As man can only do one thing at a time, there is either you are aware and silent within, without thought, means heedful, or you are lost in thought, preoccupied with what you are thinking, hence heedless. And you are like blind, you cannot see the reality, you cannot see things as they are. So living beings are most of the time lost in thought, preoccupied with what they think, plus all their mind's reaction to the three evil roots that they create within their own thought process, via their likes and dislikes, pleasant and unpleasant feelings and emotions that arise upon contact of mind within every moment of sense experience because of their Sakkaya Ditthi or self-delusion. Then in the Dhamma Sharing it is said, the mind must have no dwelling. So Huining straight away understood this stanza when he heard it, because Huining's mind is true mind. Reason why he is able to see things as they are, via the silent mind, without thought, as he was born without the mundane mind. So if we create via thought, then there is good and bad for you to dwell on duality. So duality will arise because thought divide via words, concept, gender, race, religion, nationality, right and wrong, good and bad, etc. Non-duality is the doctrine of true emptiness, when you are not caught within the duality. Just like the great Tao, with wisdom one can see things as they are, and can accept everything that happens as natural, or the way things are, hence transcending all duality that leads to reaction of mind or stirring of mind. Knowing via thought is knowledge, whereas awakening via the silent mind or one's true mind nature without thought is enlightenment, which is an understanding. And understanding is non-rigid, because it is not a knowledge. No right, no wrong, because everything is just the way it is, through suchness, or tathata. So I have already explained all this. So by now you should have clear understanding. Then the famous advice of our Buddha is Dhammapada verse 183, which states, Sabba papasa akaranang kusalesa upasambadan sachitta pariyodapanang etang buddhana sasana. So translated in English is, all evil is to be avoided, do good, and purify the mind. And these are the advice of our Buddha, which all Buddhists must follow. Here is the advice of all Sammasambuddha. To purify the mind, one must develop the enlightenment factor of equanimity and samadhi, to see things as they are. Otherwise, you cannot develop the wisdom to purify your mind. Then with wisdom, one can come to understand that things are just the way they are, cannot be otherwise, where they follow nature's law. And there will be no good and evil, right and wrong, wholesome and unwholesome, etc. No duality within life and meditation. No right, no wrong, because deluded people will do or say deluded things. Angry people will say or do angry things. So accept them for what they are. We are perceiving them with equanimity and wisdom. When you perceive a life situation with negativity or without enmity, then you will react to them, and your mind will stir to bring about suffering to you and to all. The Buddha said, in the seeing, there is only the seeing consciousness, and there is no one to see. An external form arises through consciousness based on the physics experiment, dependent originating. So do awake, or do wake up to this reality. We are the pure awareness, to see clearly that mind is a forerunner of all things, mind is chief, and mind make are they. Everything arises when mind arises. Then when we understand that we can reverse all this mental creation, we are returning all external mental creation to mind consciousness. Then mind consciousness, we can return to the pure awareness nature before the stirring or its arising. And then pure awareness nature back to the great void, which is emptiness. We are realizing the cessation of form and mind, which is Nibbana. Then we would have understood the whole mystery of nature's creation, or mystery of life. So this one is very easy to comprehend by now, because the great void, which is emptiness, is what Nibbana is. When you realize the cessation of form and mind, even the pure awareness, the pure consciousness also ceases. Then no more creation, no more this and that. Everything is like return to its perfect state before the arising, before creation. So cessation of form and mind, which is the realization of Nibbana, is like the mundane mind realizes itself and ceases. Then even the first thing to arise from the pure nature, the pure awareness nature, that one also ceases. Then who are you? What are you? Without thought, without the five aggregate of form and mind, you are nothing. You are nobody. That's why Nibbana is a cessation, negation. You cannot talk about it, you cannot describe it. But there is no word, no concept, nothing. Within the realization, you just return. It's not a being that returns. The mind that realizes itself ceases. Then that nature sets in. the original nature, the true nature, then you develop the enlightenment or realization. You can say that when it come out from it, the first entity that come out is the pure awareness nature. That is the oneness nature. Nothing is apart from that. Then from there, everything come to be. That's why the teaching is quite similar to the Tao. And the Tao, nothing is apart from the Tao. But before the Tao, what is it? That is where the original nature is, before everything arises. So the true nature, and sometimes the Buddha call it the Buddha nature. Living being call it the original nature, the oneness nature. They call by various names. Some religion call it the kingdom of God, if they can understand what that is. So all this is what the teaching is all about. Okay, we go back to the notes. We are at page 119. If all phenomena can be returned to mind consciousness, then to the pure awareness nature. This is about the four circle formation. And then finally back to true emptiness or the source. It means they are all not so real. All created by mind. Mind make our day. We are consciousness. Hence the phenomenal world is a world of consciousness. And they are all really empty. So with this, I think most of you by now can understand all this quite deeply. Then with this understanding, you develop the meditative training. Then when the mind go through that cessation, you will understand very clearly. You will awaken very easily. So reflect on it, contemplate on it, listen to it attentively, then develop the clear understanding. Then I read on. Beyond mind, there is no creation and no suffering. There is without mind, there is no aggregates of form, perception, feeling, sankhara, hence no karma, no creation via mental consciousness. Cognition via mental consciousness or perception is all mind make. Hence, all phenomena and perception, they are all linked. They are all impermanent, leading to suffering. And they have the three universal characteristics of anicca, dukkha, and anatta, which is ultimately not a permanent, unchanging entity, non-self, empty nature of existence. The pure awareness nature, or the pure awareness before the knowing, or the essence of mind, which can be aware of the silence of nature. This one is very important. Before that cessation takes place, you have the pure awareness nature. When you realize that true mind, or that silent mind without thought, that tranquil, still mind, the pure awareness nature, before the arising of thought or knowing. This is your essence of mind. The essence of mind can only be aware, that's it. So this one has the ability to be aware of the silence of nature. And this silence of nature, you don't need condition for it to arise. It was already there. So the silence of nature is not a condition arising phenomena. Hence it is the unconditioned and also your true mind. But it's not a permanent, unchanging entity that you can call the me and the I, because it cannot come out and live life. Whereas the mundane condition arising mind, for it to arise, it needs sense data in the form of vibration, especially for the hearing consciousness, for the arising of the hearing consciousness, to perceive Hence is condition arising nature within the phenomenal world. But when it's the silence of nature, there is no condition for that silence to arise. Because it's without vibration, it's complete stillness, tranquility. Then who is aware? There is nobody. But that nature, the essential nature, the essence of mind, which are true, pure awareness, and that nature has the ability to be aware. That's why that nature, the essence of mind, can be aware of through silence, or what we call the silence of nature, the complete stillness and silent nature. Yeah. Where the awareness is capable of that. Okay, so we end here. Then we will have our 45 minutes of awareness-based meditation. So we will stop here. Then we will continue with part 3 the next Sunday sharing. So to develop this pure awareness nature within and stabilize it is very easy when you understand. So go and read up on the 2 book that I have given you, my latest book, Ultimate Realization to Transcend Life and Path to Nibbana, Awakening via Cessation of Form and Mind. So these 2 books, they got a section of the sharing, the early pages, where you are taught awareness-based meditation. They are on page 3, section 5. So you read through, develop the understanding, and understand the 4 support to develop awareness-based meditation, then you can do it easily. You just have to silence your mind, completely relax body and mind, then maintain awareness to silence your mind. Whatever arises, aware, finish. No need to perceive, no need to know, no need to think, no need to arise any thought to do. When thought ceases, then nature arises. Then you only need to stabilize it. So the third support is maintaining the inner awareness to stabilize the awareness. So whatever arises, aware, finish. Aware, finish, to stabilize it. Then once it's stabilized, you will know. The free mind will be in the state of pure awareness, without thought. But thought arises very fast. The moment you are curious, the thought will arise. Or the moment you have fear, because without thought, a lot of people who never develop awareness-based meditation before, they panic. They thought they die. They thought without thought is very dangerous. They thought they need thought to continue to be alive. So that there is somebody inside there with the thought. They believe that there is a thinker behind the thought process. So they believe without thought, the thinker ceases to be. They also cease to be. That's why that delusion actually causes a lot of suffering to living beings. So all this, hopefully, as you meditate, you can develop the understanding. Then when you have the opportunity to realize the pure awareness nature without thought, then inside there, while stabilizing it, inquire, who are you without the thought? Without thought, who are you? Realize it. Okay, now I will set the alarm for 45 minutes. Then you will continue with your meditation, awareness-based meditation. You can slowly, mindfully come out of the meditation. Try to maintain whatever inner peace, inner calmness, and inner awareness that you have developed for as long as you can. These are the meditative mind state that you have to stabilize. Then when you are in such awareness state throughout the day, stabilize, you will progress and you will develop understanding very fast. Okay, now we will continue our second session, which is meditation reporting, followed by Q&A. Whatever question that you have, you can ask. Then you can also share on Dhamma in daily life that you have developed as understanding, so that others may also benefit.
Good afternoon, Brother Mrs. Q and Kailamita. Actually, last Tuesday 我有 share 一个 part about 我的 meditation。
对。
After Tuesday 我 Wednesday 的时候when 我 read 我的 Surangama Sutta 的时候那种感觉好像你自己好像真的是在楞严会上这样子。
萨丢。
After that, towards the end of the chapter 4, 我就哭在那边。
萨丢。
等我就 after that 我就做回向，然后我就 pay respect， 然后我就去睡了。
萨丢。
Thursday 我在 continue 的时候 on chapter 5，又是很不一样哦，它就好像怎么样说呢？就好像很熟悉的感觉这样子。
对 ，very good.
Yeah,
like you can understand it very easily.
Then actually 等到拜5的时候，早上我起来，我听 Brother 的分享，给我的 advice on Tuesday 之后，我突然理解到，原来 Brother 有讲这个 part，我是当下我是没有什么听到这一 part，因为我其实那天我是很 still 了，在 Brother 那边。
Yeah.
So Brother 有分享到一段是说，我好像 connect back 回去我的training of 这个 Sutta 这样子。所以后来我才明白到，原来 Brother 有讲这一个 part，which 就很 match 到Brother 所讲的一切，就是说我就是经过那个 connect 回去这样子，然后我的怎样说，就是我读这个Sutta的时候跟以前真不一样了。就好像很多的法喜和很多的
对 the understanding give rise to all this
就
不一样了
对，就 after that 我讲我这样子就是我要借这个机会，我要跟 Brother 说感恩，因为这几年来 Brother 一直在guide和我们guide我们和众生就是能够离苦得乐。所以我要感恩 Brother all this year 的 guidance， 如果不是 Brother 当下在10多年前就一直教我们 about 5 aggregate of form and mind， you know， 怎么样的去建立我们的 faith 那个 basic essential Dhamma， 所以就一直走来，就我们一直跟着 Brother 这样子，所以就 give rise to 这一切的修行的路，就是那个 path 这一直是走过来，我感觉到很多的感恩。那天早上讲，我要跟 Brother 讲感恩，后来我就想着，我就接 Sunday class 来跟大家分享，跟 Brother 讲感恩，to you know like give more faith to all the Kalamita， 真的。 我们这样一路一路走过来啊，真的跟着 Radio 的 guidance 啊，我们真的能够
you can
当说
develop the understanding and the realization.
Yeah， 是真的，真的，真的你就对我而言，我是意想不到啦 Radio 就是但是就是我觉得那个心态是很重要咯。
Yeah,
就是他慢慢
the faith and the understanding when they arise, it will give rise to a complete transformation of the understanding of what this teaching is all about. Then the mind become very different. Then all the things that happen to you, the expression, the sharing, all they just manifest. Because not easy to receive this type of teaching. And to develop the progress also not easy. You have to do it with the understanding and stabilize the awareness nature. Then from there, let it develop the understanding, the direct seeing, the penetrative understanding. Then of course, the internal movement and transformation of that movement within that nature, you need to do the fourth support. Otherwise, they cannot develop the understanding beyond the sainthood way. To go beyond the sainthood way, you must connect to your nature. You must stabilize your sati, mindfulness, pure awareness nature. Then go to the fourth support to detect the gateway to your nature. Then only the true transformation and understanding will happen. And when during that time, you will go through a lot of very beautiful, what they call progress. Then as you progress, the understanding will continue to deepen. Then when you listen to all those Dhamma again, it becomes very different. Even when you read the Sutta again, it becomes very different. Then that understanding somehow inside your nature, it will awaken you. Then it will guide you along and transform you. Then when that nature continue to understand and transform, there is this understanding that is so different. It's not from the thought process. It's not from knowledge. Is from the understanding, which is very profound. That's why a lot of Kayamita who have the condition to develop all this understanding, as they experience them, they develop a lot of what they call joy and respect, gratitude. Like you say, a lot of Farsi singer, then gratitude, kanan, then expression of thank and all those things. It will happen, it will manifest, which is very good. Sadhu, Alicia.
Yeah，Radio 真的那种怎么样说呢？就是我其实我以前我跟着 Radio starting 的时候，我只是觉得就是把我自己的坏习气的慢慢的
对，
把
那个时候是初你刚看到你的那个 delusion 的 mind state， then 你怎样给它捉去搞到你很多那些 depressive thought suffering, then 你的身体 everything affected. So initially is like that 你看到那个先then later on 你才慢慢一段一段的 with the understanding go in. Then over the years, I think 差不多有10年了。
就 to be exact 12年了。
12年了。So most Kayamita 过了10年才真正的能够 penetrate the understanding and develop the what they call gratitude and the joy and all those things. That's why not only you quite a lot, quite a number of Kayamita. 现在他们的 progress and understanding 不一样了。Everyone is at different stages of understanding, and they have their own unique way to penetrate. Those who have the faith, who listen attentively and develop the understanding through constant training of the mind to be aware, mindful, stabilizing it, then able to develop the fourth support to stabilize the awareness nature to do the gateway transformation. That fourth support transformation will really speed up the progress very fast, and a lot of things will happen, especially the initial stages when you connect. You will give them a lot of faith and understanding, and you suddenly realize your whole physical body and mind transform. Then when you detect that nature, that movement initially is very, very fantastic, and it will keep you on track to develop the meditative understanding. And during that time, a lot of progress, a lot of joy. Then later on, when it's stabilized, the next phase will begin. Then all this is a result of all your Kayamitas, past parami and affinity, to be able to develop the affinity to go this way. A lot depends on your faith, your vow, your what they call sincerity and perseverance. And most of them, after they connect, they understand the beauty of this important, then they become very determined, and the faith drives them, and they will progress. Then the way they progress, normal cultivator cannot understand, cannot catch up. But this way is the supreme vehicle training, cultivation. Is way, way beyond the sainthood way. Of course, they will experience the sainthood ways, enlightenment and awakening. They will go through. Those who have cultivated before in the past, they will go through very fast. Then they reach back to the level they had trained themselves. Then from there, they will continue to progress. And how fast they progress depends on their faith, their sincerity, and their perseverance. So when you do all this, you become different. You become different. Then the vow that you make, that one very important. So that life after life, whenever you arise, you will have all this understanding, and you determine to fulfill your bodhisattva vow, your whatever cultivation leading to the perfection of Sammasambuddhahood and all those things. All this, they will fall in place. That's why this way that I have introduced can speed up the cultivation, and it can lead to very fast transformation and awakening. Because traditional way is not so easy, not so straightforward. There are very few cultivators of the way of great being. Even when they come, they don't have the causes and conditions to share and teach in this way. Because this window, like I said, is very rare, very unique. That's why the year 2008, Maitreya's nature came with the message. Then that time my nature knew I have this understanding and ability to share that thing, the true Dhamma that he wants me to share. And this is something very important for our era. for our civilization. Well, this is the era where English language and Mandarin, the Mahayana teaching, they are both very important. That's why this life, my nature arise. I was sent to an English school. Then somehow my past have a lot of affinity with the Dhamma. Then all the Mandarin teaching, I very easily understand and develop the understanding to share. Then when my nature connect, when I inherit all the spiritual nature's understanding, then this nature become different. That's why this one has a mission, this life, to share the true Dhamma. Initially is of course the true Dhamma of the Theravada tradition, leading to all the understanding of the sainthood way. Then somehow later on, after 2014-15, I think, the Bodhisattva way came out. Then that thing all of a sudden take off. Of course, 2008 it started. Then when the condition manifests, I realized the book that's supposed to arise. Then the sharing that's supposed to take this course, they manifest. That's why with the advent of the website in the year 2017, beginning of 2017, everything is like meant to be already. Then the sharing becomes so different. So initially is the book comes first, the recording, the short notes, then the transcript. Then later on the website. The website when it arrives, we have all the what they call Dhamma understanding, teaching and material already ready, the book already. That's why from there onward, the sharing become very different. So all this is meant to be, and now you can see the effect of it, the result of it. There's a lot of Kayamita after that. They go the Bodhisattva way, they progress, and they become very different. You give it another 3 years, which is the 10th anniversary of our website, 2027. You will see a lot of changes, a lot of Kayamita progressing. The understanding all will unfold. And more people will get to know about the website, the teaching, the sharing, and more people will benefit from it. Okay, very good, Alicia. 还有什么？
Yeah, Brother Dio, actually 就是我 reflect 回去我的那个 encounter， 就是怎么样的去access to 那个gateway or whatever 啊，因为我从来就没有想过这一些，我就是做 over 了。他就是我 reflect 回去那天的 happening 真的是我什么都没有做，我就是这样子like you know because too tired 啊 ，then 他就
Then you just let it settle down. Then the nature will know how to move, and you will inside that so-called affinity with the causes and condition already. Then it will happen. That's why a lot of things they arise without you even realizing how come it's like that. But all this, later on you all will understand. The causes and condition from the past has already been established. Otherwise it cannot happen like that. Then there are various, what they call karmic process that each cultivator of the way also need to go through. until you reach the later part of the cultivation, where most of the karmic thing you already resolved, you already gone through. Then by then you can come in a very different manner. Like my nature, I realized, especially this existence or this segment of the form and mind, it come like it already has all the understanding and the causes and conditions established and set. That's why I used to share with you all. Technically, I didn't do anything. My nature just echoed and flow, and everything just fall into place, like meant to be. And whatever that is meant to be, will be. Then it just unfold. Then I realized the nature like so blessed, don't have problem at all. No. Since birth until now, everything is smooth sailing. Everything is like meant to be. Then that understanding, that joy, that causes and condition for this nature to do its work, to fulfill its vow and duty, it just unfolds and manifests so beautifully. That's why this causes and condition, even our this segment of the Kayamita shape, they have happened in the past before. The only thing is, most of you all may not understand. That's why when the time comes when this nature arises, all of the beings that have affinity, causes and conditions, they will follow. They will also arise, or they will also be around. Then when the time comes, they will have the affinity to come into contact with the teaching, the sharing. Then they will benefit. But this is nature's law, nature's causes and conditions. And this extensive understanding of how it is possible and how it can unfold is part of the Bodhisattva way for cultivator of the way to develop all the understanding. That's why through all this, you will understand how beautiful that Dhamma teaching is, and how beautiful it can really unfold, help transform living beings, and help cultivator of the way to continuously develop the progress and transformation. And this work, which is so beautiful, so wonderful, can continue perpetually. Very good. 好啊。
Yeah, Bradley, 就是那个 Dharma wonderful in the beginning,
in the
wonderful in
middle,
the wonderful
and
in the middle. Everything. 我还记得有一次我的怎么说，就是他就是 manifest 说 there's no other way except go to the Buddha for refuge.
对 the refuge is very important.
哭到很厉害，那时候我 like 你知道是除了这一个 path,
yeah,
other way.
No other way,
Yeah.
because that refuge is very important. Refuge safe. Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. From the Buddha comes the Dhamma. Then from the Dhamma arises the Sangha. That's why the triple gem, that is the only refuge safe, where the teaching can be realized, can be put for cultivation. Because without the triple gem, there is no real refuge safe. 好啊。
那就其实我这10多年一直走来，我非常的感恩，还有那个就是佛菩萨。
Yeah.
他们就是很眷顾我，我感觉他一个一个这样子来来 guide 我，你知道吗？就是
Yeah. That's how they actually benefits the cultivator of the way. 度众生啊their nature is ever radiating for the cultivator of the way. when you are the cultivator of the way, 修行者, just like 我们 share merits with the Dhamma protector, with all the Devas and Nagas of mighty power, these are the one, they will protect you, bless you, and create the conducive causes and conditions for Dhamma to manifest, to flow. That's why we chant all this, what they call closing puja, the sharing. Akasata, Jevumata, Deva, Naga, Mahindika. Then this Dhamma protector, they will protect the Dhamma practitioner. As cultivator of the way, we are part of the sasana. So what we call, when we make that aspiration towards the end, may they long protect the sasana, because we are part of the sasana. That's why they will protect you, they will guide you, they will make sure this tradition continue. That's why when you travel, you will know, you feel that you are different. You are like being protected, very blessed. The nature is very conducive, and everything like go your way. Then there is a lot of what they call understanding that comes with it, the joy. Very good.
Yeah, radio 真的，其实就是那些阿弥陀佛，我最记得第一个来带我的就是阿弥陀佛。
对，
然后接下来就是观世音菩萨，然后
观世音菩萨
还有就是那天我们去五台山，就是文殊菩萨。
文殊，
就是他们，就是我觉得他们很慈悲。所以就是我觉得他们真的就是give me a lot of faith， 因为那个 Dhamma 你在 daily 里面你看到，就是你要用在 daily 里面，你看到我们不把这个所谓的法入心里面，每天在运用它的话，我们会每天分分钟就是刹那
对，
那个所谓的烦恼，就是这样。
That's why they call it the 烦恼障所知障So all these are karmic obstruction. When you have worry, fear, anxiety, it become a karmic obstruction. And when you know too much knowledge, too much of this, what they call Dhamma knowledge, 所知障. So everything that you commit to memory through knowledge, you think you know, is a karmic obstruction. Because that one prevent you from receiving truth. Where you think you know already, you have enough understanding through knowledge already, then who else can teach you? That's why I use the word, wisdom is unending. There is no such thing as there is nothing more to learn, nothing more to understand. But understanding is not rigid. It is evolving. Civilization evolving. Everything evolving. The understanding also will evolve. Then just now you mentioned all those great beings. Well, like I said, when you cultivate until when you reach that level of understanding, and then you understand your nature also doing that work, then you will come to understand that statement. The great beings' nature, they are ever radiating to support the cultivator of the way. 他们有他们的 nature 了 They don't have to be around all the time, but their spiritual nature, their understanding is already there, and they have their vows. That's why you are the cultivator of the way. You know how to connect with them, develop the affinity with them. Then they will come and help you. Not to say they as a being come and help you. No, it's their nature. it will manifest on its own. That's why I always say their nature is ever radiating for the cultivator of the way. That's why in the yellow card, the Bodhisattva way, I advise all Kayamita to establish affinity with all the great beings. And to establish affinity is very easy. Pay your respect, develop the faith, then chant their four-how, then develop the understanding of their cultivation. Then have faith in all those teaching, chanting, and even their so-called four-how. Call upon their Dhamma name or cultivation's name, like Amitabha, then Yao Sifo, even Kwanzi, then all the various mantra, or they call four how, the Dhamma name or pronunciation. You chant them like Kwanzi got a lot. Om Mani Padme Hum. Then chant the Heart Sutra, Xing. Chant the great compassionate mantra, Da Bei Zhou. Then all the other related for how. So all this have its efficacy. Sometimes even paying respect is very, very strong affinity already. Then sometimes with the faith, you do their work and develop the understanding through their faith. You establish affinity already. Then, like Sakyamuni Buddha, you pay respect. Namo Ben Si Si Jia Muni Fo. Or you just chant Si Jia Muni Fo. Namo Si Jia Muni Fo. Then all this, like Maitreya Buddha, Wei Lai Fo, Namo Milo Fo, Yao Si Fo, Amitabha, then for Puja, everything. You develop the affinity. Then for Mahayana practitioner, they write their sutta, Song Jing, they say. They copy their sutta and they actually share that sutta. Song, Gong Yang Fo Fa, Song to all the living beings, Zhongsen. So that this type of teaching, they continue to benefit cultivator of the way and living beings who need them to develop the understanding and the cultivation, the transformation. So all this, as you cultivate, you develop the understanding, then you know how it is possible, how all this can manifest. Then it depends on the era, the civilization, the world system that you are in. And the whole universe is so immense. It's beyond your wildest dream. You don't take the Bodhisattva way. You cannot understand the extensiveness of this possibility of its happening and all those things. What living beings know at this moment, they are still very, very limited. But our civilization consider having progressed a lot. We have actually uncovered a lot of things. Although our latest civilization is only 5,000 to 6,000 years recorded history, but we have evolved fantastic understanding, especially science, technology, and even the spiritual field. There are many great beings around that has this ability to continue to share and transform all this. That's why you will have the understanding to know that if you are part of the so-called cultivator of the way, then you can have the causes and conditions to meet out with a lot of these great beings, the great cultivator of the way, and all the so-called Bodhisattva or Mahasattva, or even Samasa Buddha's nature that can manifest and benefit all the cultivator of the way. Then you realize they are actually everywhere in the midst of life and nature. That's why those who have the affinity, you can meet up. But those who don't have the affinity, you can hardly meet up. Because even you meet up, you don't know who they are and what they are. And the causes and conditions cannot manifest. And there can never be any establishment of understanding or training. So all these are very clear to the cultivator of the way who have really developed the understanding. That's why 今天的 sharing is also very good. It's meant for future cultivator of the way. When they develop the understanding further, then they listen to this sharing again. They will develop a lot of joy. Then they realize, yeah, this is what precisely is happening. That's why all this is no more a fairy tale. It's really unfolding, and it can be developed with the understanding for true cultivator of the way. And even though our existence in this planet or this universe is only maybe 8 decades or so, 7 to 9 decades, or maybe those who live long enough, 9 over to 10 decades, 100 years old. But within this window, that's why I say this is a golden window, because you see the transition years. Every decade is so beautiful, like my era. I was born in mid-50s, 54. Then the 60s I saw, 70s I saw. Then 80 onward I saw different thing again. By then I just graduate, and as an engineer I know a lot of things. Then the 90s, until the year 2000, we progressed very fast. The internet boom, technological revolution, then now the AI revolution. And the year 2010, 2020, and now going into 2030, the progress is even faster. And a lot of things are happening. If only you can have the understanding, the capacity to understand what is going on. That's why that understanding will give rise to what they call wonderful existence for them to really rejoice. And you can see it unfolding, and it's so beautiful. So make full use of all this. It is going to really transform our civilization and understanding, and the beings that come, they will be very different. Especially the coming years, the coming decade. A lot of things will happen. Right now I ask you, maybe 20 years before or 20 years ago, I ask you to make a guess using your wildest dream. You can never guess that our civilization can progress until like that. We can have such marvel that we are able to use technology, understanding, and all those things. And civilization can bring about such beautiful era. In fact, you look back, if you are able to have the means and what they call the good life, to live this last 2-3 era, or decade, not era, last 2-3 decade, you realize you are very blessed. So much thing, even during my father's time, they don't have. My father passed away in the year 2004, which was 21 years ago. He didn't get to see so many things. Then my mother passed away 2012. He also didn't get to see a lot of things. But then for us, so much thing has unfold, happen, manifest. And you can live maybe another 1-2 decades, which will be fantastic. Because the next decade, I will be 80 plus already. Then, by then, I don't think the physical body can take much longer. And no point to live so long. It depends on the situation, the causes and conditions. Where this physical body, there's a limit to it. Like the Buddha say, it goes the way of nature. It's of the nature to grow old, get sick and die. And even until this age, for my nature to have such good physical body, good health, and almost perfect condition, is already considered very blessed. Senses are all still very good. Then the understanding is there. Then I retired early. I have the means to understand life, live life, and benefits Kayamita and cultivate all the way in the world. And all these are really great blessings and joy. So this will continue to unfold, and for all other beings of Kayamita, you also have your role, your duty and all those things. That's why you must build on that faith, the saddha, to continue to develop the understanding, the progress, the training, the cultivation. And you can also become beautiful beings with the understanding. Then make all the adhitthana or vow, so that the future coming will even be more beautiful. Your future, what they call manifestation, will become even more beautiful. Okay, Alicia, go back to you.
Brother 因为时间关系，我想留一点时间给别的同修去。
可以啊。Who else want to come in? You can come in.
Brother 感恩 Brother Dew
let us rejoice.
众生，就是另外我也想感恩Sister Boching， 因为 Sister Boching is the one that inspire us.
Lead the thing.
感恩 Brother Dew 和所有感恩米大的 all this year 的分享和 share。感恩啊 Brother Dew。
Sadhu. Yeah, good. Let us rejoice. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon,
good sharing and also good sharing by Alicia. So fast about it. 2 weeks already passed. 3 weeks. So and also
we have already been back 3 weeks.
So these 3 weeks, a lot happened to me also lah.
Wow, sadhu.
First week I came back okay. Second week I fall sick.
Okay.
Fall sick. So they were saying maybe because change of temperature from very cold to very cold. But surprisingly, I wasn't really unhappy. I just accept it. I was having a bad cough. But also now I think back, also surprisingly, I got well in about 1 week or so.
That's very good.
I'm okay now. But actually, my whole family also, they were coughing lah. But the degree was different. I think mine was the worst. But eventually, now I think everyone also okay already. No more cough. And then last week, my mother fell down by herself first time. She went out, came out from the bathroom, and then she said, don't know why suddenly she just fell down and then hit her head up. Her head.
Okay.
So she went through last time that one wasn't because of the dog but this time she said there wasn't any reason. This one no reason at all. It was just like she was already out from the bathroom and already wearing the house slippers, and then suddenly she just backward fell forward.
Yeah. That's why I say the karmic conditioning when it's coming, there is nothing much normal living being can do. It will happen. Unless you have the Dhamma understanding, then your nature can preempt it or know that it's coming. Then you can do something about it. Like last time I told you at the spiritual trip, I was walking down the slope. Then because I was mindful, observant, I saw the stone position all. Then as I move, then the karmic conditioning, one of my legs stepped on a loose stone. Then I lost my balance. Then I can recollect. If I fall towards the left, I will hit one stone. Then if I fall towards the right, I will avoid all the other sort of danger or predicament. Then I turn and fall towards the right confidently. Then I just roll over. Then all the Kayametta panic, when they saw me fall. They thought, wow, something going to happen already. Well, at that time I also not that young, 60 plus. But then I told them, 没事, I said, don't worry, I'm okay. Then there was one occasion from the bus also, I don't know how many Kayametta recall. We were about to go to the restaurant. Then I came down from the bus. In China, our China trip, you know the bus, the step, very big on the step, especially the last step. So when I was coming down, the last step, before I landed on the floor, where I was aware, mindful, but that time, my leg, after a long period of walking for the last few days, don't have the strength, and it give way. Then I also knew that it is going to be dangerous. Then what happened is, I know how to decide how to fall. So I decide to let it roll on the floor again. Then after that, I told them, I'm okay. I'm okay. So there were many occasions. There's this karmic conditioning when it comes, you don't have the Dhamma understanding. Most people cannot avoid it. They will have to go through it. I call it the karmic debt payback. That's why karmic conditioning, you can see when it comes, very difficult to avoid unless you have the Dhamma understanding. That's why it's also stated in the teaching, the sutta. The only way to actually take care of karma is via wisdom. Without wisdom, very difficult. Continue, Manya. Yes.
But fortunately, I really thank I don't know, thank everyone, thank Buddha, Bodhisattva. The CT scan show everything okay lah. But
nothing major.
My mother still complain.
Very good,
nothing
very
major,
good.
but my mother.
What about the head? You say head.
Yeah, the head. She said the head and the neck very painful until now I mean, not all the time, especially if she wants to lie down or when she get up that time difficult. I think
only
because
good thing is the CT scan doesn't detect anything. Means no fracture, nothing. Sadhu. Means it's only sprain or what.
That also really, I feel very lucky for her.
Yeah,
before that,
at her age. Actually, any fall is very, very detrimental one, very dangerous.
Three pictures are
85, your mother.
My mother, this year 85. Not yet lah. 85.
Yeah, coming
Then,
to,
yeah. And then it's now, these 3 weeks, I don't know lah. At certain times when I'm doing my chores or whatever, I suddenly I can detect there is some kind of anxiety lah. And then I would be able to tell myself, hey, why you so anxious? Cool down lah. Work.
That's why relax, settle down. Then it will be gone. Where is the behind your mundane mind? There is this anxiety born of fear, worry. Very good. Means now you're more mindful. You can sense them. Then you can do something about it. Most people, they cannot sense, then they don't know what is happening, then that one become problem. But the anxiety actually make them worry, fearful, and the anxiety build up. That's why for people who don't have the mindfulness, awareness, and the Dhamma, they cannot handle it. Then a lot of them, through the wrong thought, create more problem. Then sometimes they have phobia. It develop into panic attack and all those things. They end up with all the depressive thought and the karmic conditioning open up the causes and condition for more and more negative karma to come and attack them or harass them. That's why all this they have to go through. That's why without the cultivation of the daily mindfulness, the awareness nature, and the Dhamma understanding, it's not easy to understand all this and mitigate what is happening. That's why most people go through life without understanding, heedless, and they develop all the karmic friction, the suffering, the misery. They have to go through because these are reality that they need to confront, especially old age, sickness, and death, even injury. Then later on, it will entangle into more personal things like separation, attachment, and all those things. Then developing unnecessary karmic worry, fear, anxiety, because this is what you did in the past. So this life you become the victim. When there is causes and conditions, it will manifest. So to confront all this reality of birth, old age, sickness, and death, the other 4 reality, total the 8 reality within the First Noble Truth, it's not easy. That's why only cultivator of the way can develop the understanding. But it takes time. Not everybody who go through the cultivation can understand all this. It takes time. By the time you understand, then you will know how to reflect and recollect back. That's why like Mun Yuen now slowly, she start to learn all these things. Then she start to see all this happening manifestation. So for her, it's a blessing that he can see all this happening during her parents' time. And they have been quite blessed so far, despite their age. A lot of things that happened has turned around. So, sadhu, Mun Yuen. You continue to share.
Yeah, rather the Dhamma is really helpful. It's a big difference whether a person know Dhamma or don't know Dhamma. Because I felt that day when I caught myself, knowing that the anxiety was rising, it helped because I could put it down. It didn't proliferate. Sometimes the anxiety was with me during the whole chore, and yet, I cannot stop it. But that day, I could, you know, I was thinking,
and it can really subside. That's very good. Most people, when the anxiety come, they cannot control it. They cannot control. They worry, and they are affected until their heart palpitate. The heart will palpitate.
Yeah. Then just now, right, you also talk about, you know, we will be very blessed when we travel. So I want to also share my experience. I don't know whether we really don't even know this. That day when we were traveling in the train, there was one day Bharatio asked me, do you need to go to the toilet? And then, do you remember that, Bharatio?
Yeah, I remember.
I don't think so. I remember now. Okay, so I was at that time when you asked me, I had this thinking, hey, why so weird? Right? You asked me that question, but luckily, it was a really great blessing because I went to the toilet. And you know what happened or not? Because we were running so many years, right? So every time I go to the toilet, it's not. I mean, it's a hassle compared to if you go to a toilet in Malaysia, because you have to take down so many layers, right? So usually, what I do, I also carry a bag where I keep my money and my passport with me. Usually, when I go to the toilet in a train, because of the hassle of taking out so many layers, right? I will take out the bag where I keep my my money, and I will hang it on the door. I know I shouldn't do it, but I did it, you know. And usually I will remember because the cubicle is so small. So when you go out, you will just see the my bag because it's that's right in front on the door. But that day, that train, the toilet was quite big. Bigger than usual. I mean, 2 or 3 times the size. So when I went out, I didn't notice the bag. I left the bag in the toilet. I left the bag in my radio. My passport. Passport is the most important.
Everything inside
the bag. So I feel very funny that Brother Dio asked that question. But anyway, I went anyway. Even though I wasn't full, but I thought better go so that I don't have to look for.
Don't have to rush to toilet again.
When we stop at the destination. So when I go into the same toilet, I tell you,
saw the bag.
I saw the bag, and oh my God, I really I felt so thankful, so appreciative.
Relief,
when you asked me whether I want to go to the toilet.
Relief. That's why meant to be will be.
And I don't know whether anybody went to the same toilet. I checked, nothing was missing. Everything was intact.
Sadhu.
Then when I came out, I didn't dare to say anything because so stupid of me to leave the bag there, right? At that time, I didn't want to say anything, but now I think of it, it was a great blessing.
It was a great blessing. You remember that May also forgot his bag until Freddie saw. Well, Freddie very good. He was the last to look. Then my wife also the sweater or the one. The bag. The bag. Also forgot. The backpack on the bag. Freddie very observant. Freddie said, "Hey, pick up the bag." But yours is the toilet now. Freddie cannot see. Luckily, you went in.
I went in and saw it.
And that one, I tell you, is a real blessing. Otherwise, there, the train, once it leaves the station, you cannot find the train. Then to report loss also not easy. And
then cannot come back to Malaysia.
That very problematic. A lot of things. So it is really a blessing. That's why sometimes when you have the parami, things will happen, and somehow it will alert you. Then you will be able to be safely and like I told you, my mother and my father went to Penang. Then the port there, there was a major Kuan Yin birthday that time. The whole of the station collapsed. So that time, I didn't know until later on my brother called me from Penang. He said, Dad and Mom supposed to arrive at don't know what time. But until almost midnight already, still haven't arrived. Then he called us up and checked with us whether there is any delay or what. But nobody know, because they don't have handphone. Then we heard the news that ferry got problem. The whole of the structure inside there where they supposed to board the ferry collapsed. Collapsed. Then we waited, of course, got no other choice. Then after almost midnight, I think 1 a.m. plus, only my parents came out. Then my brother called me. Oh, he say, I saw them already. Then after that, he checked with my mother. And my father was telling the story. He said, at first my mother, last minute for no reason, he said he want to go toilet. Then my father was so angry. I would say, everybody going in, you go toilet. Then because of what happened, he waited for her. Then by the time she come out, just in front of them, before they walk in, the whole thing collapsed. That's why it's like meant to be. Then I asked my brother from Alostar, who put them on the bus and sent them off. I said, did mother go along? He said, mother go along. I said, don't worry. Mother go along, you don't worry. I said, well, my mom was with me for 10 years looking after my kid. And I took her to temple and all those things. And she did the Kuan Yin, the chanting, all those things. And I know my mother had great affinity Kuan Yin. And that day was Kuan Yin Tan from Bukit Mentajam. A very big occasion. That's why packed. The whole area was packed. And it collapsed. So, then my mother become very happy. Luckily I go toilet. So a lot of these things are meant to be, will be on. Otherwise, such thing can happen to anybody. And those involved are not easy because they are loved one or they have to go through all this. And it was a very severe collapse. Then later on the news came out. That's why in life, you don't have the parami, not easy. And my mother was so lucky when he was here with me looking after my kid. He was about the age 60, that time only 60 years old. She got a heart attack while in my house. Sweat profusely, and I also didn't know what heart attack is until I bring her to my classmate. Then my classmate, doctor who know all this, he said, your mom had a heart attack. Immediately admit to UH. So gave me a letter. There and then I drove her to UH. That time I was lucky. I was working in MU. I called my technician, very senior one. He's in charge of medic faculty, dentistry, and a few area over there. He said, Mr. Teo, no problem. You go. He said, I will make the appointment, everything for you to admit. So he get ready all the thing. Then when he saw me, he straight away say, give me your mother's IC. Then he arranged all the admission. Then immediately, my mother put into ICU with the letter, everything. Then my mother recovered. Before that, my mother don't believe in going to the Western medicine hospital. But after that incident, she has failed. Then her gangrene also was cured there. Her leg, the thumb there, one of the leg. The gangrene eat until 80% of the thing down there gone, no, hollow, no. So he thought no hope already, no cure. Then I brought her to the specialist in UH also, Dr. Dalen, I remember. Oh, he very good. He said, Mr. Teo, you go and buy this cream. You can get, buy them. Your mother's case will heal. So I went and buy. I checked almost 5, I think, pharmacies. Only the last one I managed to find. Then there was only 2 tubes left. And it's one not cheap. One tube is that time almost 200 ringgit. At first I was thinking, 2 tubes left, I better buy them. Then I considered, what if another person also need? No, I buy one first. Then I told the pharmacy, you better go and order some more. So I bought back. Then my mother recovered, and he was amazed. She's so happy. He said, wow, Western medicine really good. After that, I take her to hospital. No hesitation from there onward. Very good, Mayan. Good sharing. Meant to be.
Great blessings already.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Let us rejoice. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, 6:01 already. Coming to 6:02, we better end. So now we will share merits. Akasata cha bhumata Devanaga Mahindika Punyang Tang Anumoditwa Chirang Rakantu Loka Sasana Ittawata Chamehi Sampadan Punya Sampadan Sabbe Deva Anumodantu Sabba Sampati Siddhya Idang Me Nyatinang Hotu Sukhita Hontu Nyatayo Idang me nyatinang hotu sukhita hontu nyatayo. Idang me nyatinang hotu sukhita hontu nyatayo. Devo asatakalena sasa sampati hetu cha fito bhavatu loko cha raja bhavatu damiko. Imena punyang kamena Mame bala samagamo satang samagamo hotu yawa nivana patiya. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, let us now pay respect mindfully to Lord Buddha, Kuan Yin Bodhisattva, and all the other worthy ones, so that we can end the whole sharing. Sadhu.